Writing to market, why and how? I never expected to be teaching a class about writing to market, no less actually writing to market. I do now and do so happily, but we'll get to that. If you haven't heard the term writing to market before, I'm excited to share it with you. If you have heard it and feel like turning up your nose at this lesson, hang in here with me. What is writing to market? Writing to market means identifying the trends, what's selling, and what readers are hungry for, and delivering that to them. Well, it's almost that simple. Some genres can be very competitive, but thanks to the thanks to the way sites like Amazon have helped fiction expand and have then organized their virtual shelves, we can now drill down into niche genres to discover where readers are devouring books. So while writing to market has always existed, we might not have noticed it. Now that readers have the option to click buy now and don't necessarily have to go to the store or library to get their next read, they're reading more than ever. In a recent survey of my readership, I had several people respond that they read up to 4 books a day. Yes, you heard that right. So here's an example. Romance is arguably the most competitive market, but under that umbrella genre, there are all sorts of subgenres, such as action and adventure, African American, anthologies, clean and wholesome, collections and anthologies, contemporary, fantasy, gothic, historical romance, holidays, inspirational, and the list literally goes on. We're only at the I, so it goes way, way, way down. And you can find this easily on the either on your website version of the Amazon store. It's usually on the left-hand side. You go to Kindle Store, then click down to Kindle eBooks, and then click down to Romance. And you can see this for yourself, or you can check out any other genre that is what you write in. If you're still not convinced, let me tell you about the 3 phases of my relationship with writing to market. 1. I ignored the term mostly because I didn't know what it meant. Ignorance is bliss or something. See, I didn't think it pertained to me because I was an artist with a pen, a romancer of the page, a wordsmith. I wrote lovely flowery prose with great flourish. Whatever the market was, I didn't want anything to do with it. And then at some point, I became vaguely aware of what writing to market meant. At least I thought I had a clue. It had something to do with what was popular and genre conventions or something like that, yada, yada, yada. The rebel in me, the artist in me, thought of it more like the man trying to pin me down. Just kidding. But I was still going to write what I was going to write and publish it, gosh darn it, and make pennies. And then what helped me come to terms with writing to market was this. I can write for myself. I can write for readers. Or if I'm really savvy, I can do both. You can too. Goals. Identify your goals. If you've had a story on your heart for ages that's just bursting to make its way to the page, by all means, pen that passion project. After a bit of research, coming up in a few slides you'll see, you might find that there's a hot spot in the market for your book, or it could be a breakout hit. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not writing to market. However, if you want to hop on the self-publishing train and do your best to eliminate any and all barriers to entry, consider writing to market. How to write to market. Ask yourself what you like to read or what you like to write, as well as what you could write. As for me, military space fiction is way outside my wheelhouse, but if you are an army brat, grew up watching Star Trek, and or can't get enough of epic star-filled fantasies, then you might just be able to write to market in that genre. Once you identify a hot market with hungry readers, you don't necessarily want to write those books only to make money, although maybe you do. Keep this in mind. Readers can sniff out authenticity versus opportunists. Whether you're reading 4 books a day or 4 books a month, they're well-versed and will know if a book is just slapped together for the sake of the author putting money in the bank. Research. Using that information, do some research. Amazon is where I typically go to find out this kind of information. However, if you intend to target the Apple Books market, Kobo, etc., you can do a similar search there.